episode 16 of the Pyramid Pod. With me today, I'm really stoked to have Manraj and Rhaqim. Why don't you both just give me a little introduction as to like your background and just what you're up to and kind of like what you're passionate about, I guess.
Okay, cool. Did you want to go first, Manraj, or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So like, I'm just from Toronto, India. I've always been on this spiritual stuff, but like I started taking it seriously about like 2018. And yeah, no, not
Awesome.
If you know my Twitter, yeah,
Yeah.
what I'm on.
Yeah, we'll jump into more specifics of like how we came across each other and all of our content and some stuff I want to get into. But you're from Toronto, Canada?
Yeah.
Awesome. How about you, Rhaqim?
Yeah, I'm Richmond, Virginia, born and raised. I've been here all my life, native to this land. I got into the spiritual aspect of life pretty much around the age of 17 when I began to awaken to certain things regarding, the third eye and the chakras and all that stuff, the basic stuff that people get into or whatever. Due to my friends in high school, I guess they had their awakening first and then they imparted that information on me. So then that caused me to research and go look into it and, and come across what I know now today. But, for the most part, I'm a full-time artist and business owner. So I'm mostly, creating music and visual art from like comics and, hip hop beats, the whole nine. So that's largely my background. I've been making music since 16, yeah, and I'm going on 29, so it's been well over 10 years. But yeah, that's.
I came across you like through your content. Like I remember coming across the Urban Mystic, and I was like, I want to know what this guy's up to. And like I was super intrigued by like your content and just like your message, and then through that I did a little bit more research and came across your music and you do NFT work now too, don't you?
Yeah, that's the subject I do want to get into more detail with a little later in the conversation.
Definitely, yeah, because I also recently got into like the crypto NFT world and blockchain technology and all that is super interesting. But let's start, I guess, with kind of how we all came together, which is just like the world of esoteric knowledge. And like one topic that I really wanted to jump into with both of you, because I know you both have some like well thought out, developed ideas about this, is ancient history. Like we're sold one idea of humanity, how we came to be in this civilization, like what this point in history actually represents in the broader picture of our story as humans. Like I just want to give the floor to you both to kind of like shed some light on like who you think we are and how you think we got here to this place, and put modern society kind of in that perspective, if you want to jump in on any of that.
Yo, you want to go first or should I go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go in because I know you be going in with that history.
Man, so I think I think our history goes back beyond a lot of things, but like our history, like modern society, modern us, I think that goes to like somewhere like 75,000 years ago. And I think like in the beginning, like people probably lived a lot longer, you feel me? And all this stuff that we're doing like right now is kind of trying to, like, there's a reason people call it healing, and it's healing because we're trying to go back to something like a state of being, a state of health that we came into being with, that we were born with. And right. I believe in the beginning, people people were a lot more like the gods and goddesses, you know.
Exactly.
And like regarding like when we do talk about ancient history, we always get into like all civilizations and stuff, but like the civilizations came out of like us, you feel me? We didn't come out of the civilization, so it's it's not like trying to go back to like ancient India or ancient Egypt or America or whatever. It's trying to go back to ourselves and create that again, you know?
That was a bar, Manraj.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way, man, because it's like back in antiquity, I feel like with my own understanding and just belief, like that the earth was vibrating in a much more higher frequency or faster vibratory rate. So with that accompanies the whole entire dimensional plane being sort of more astral, like meaning everything that's material is more malleable and more palpable to being molded with thought. So my, I wouldn't say assumption, but my theory is back then, we were more etheric. So basically, we could just think of an apple and the apple will appear and we can eat it
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything is abundant. So it's
Yeah.
I see that, you know what I'm saying, that quality of abundance in the material quantity of the, vegetables and, food that grow from the earth itself. Like just the fact that that is happening, growth is continuous, unending. Like the fact that, that goes on. So energetically, I see that being true as well with, just how energy works and how things is in this universe is abundant.
Yeah, one thing you said there that I really agree with is like when we think back through human history, we often don't think of like the fact that the earth itself was vibrating at different frequencies and different points in history. And we as like inhabitants of Gaia on this earth, like we are then affected by that. And going into what you're saying of like more instantaneous manifestation, like I feel like from imagination to reality, like that delay in manifestation is related to how dense we are,
Like
so
like a blockage.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
totally. Like if we were in our full like etheric light high vibrational state, like I really do agree that we could go from thought to reality much quicker. And we in this denser plane right now are just experiencing so much more of a delay because of the density we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like you were saying about like the apple, like back in the day, like people could tell like a tree like what to grow. You feel me? Like I always say like some of these fruits like marijuana and stuff, and like it's like it's a symbiotic thing. Like you feel me? Like humans like ask for it and they got it, from the earth.
Facts. Everything is in abundance because the creator, like we refer to as the most high, it's infinite intelligence. So with this infinite comes infinite expression. And with this infinite expression, it's just unlimited, unbound manifestation on all planes, realms, and dimensions, both known and unknown. So it's no question that in antiquity, our ancestors, like by them living in a more higher vibrating earth, that they will have more access to their own DNA, which hasn't been tampered with like ours is today. We're technically like GMO humans in comparison.
Yeah. Like
so
there's all sorts of shit in this water, fam. And like that's why I caught like the water filter. I didn't get that yet. But, like,
yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get that shit too, man. You definitely put me on to it.
Yeah, like right now, fam. I bought a shower filter for $30, and like call me crazy, but like I fucking go fill this shit up in the shower.
Oh, word. Hey, that's
It tastes
what's
way
up.
better. You could taste it, yo. It tastes like clean. You feel me? A big difference.
Is that copper that you're drinking out of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you guys heard of shungite?
Yeah, I don't.
Heard it
I
before.
don't like. I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it for sure.
it's supposed to like, it's basically a stone that's supposed to help like take some of the toxins out of your water. So I always keep a little shungite in my water bottle. Because I agree with like you're some like you said that we're essentially like GMO humans now, and like that's like messed up, but it's also like facts, you know, like
yeah.
eating GMO
It's
food, we
you
got
can't
toxins in the water, in the air. Like if like you have to be so naive to think that's not affecting you.
yeah
Like
yeah. Why would they do it, man? Why would they do it if it didn't affect us? Like
Exactly.
you can't live in this world and not be like fucked up by it's like yo, the shit is not natural to human beings like to be born in a hospital. Yo, you're born in a fucking place where the next door is somebody like fuck, whereas like
Yeah,
people used to be born around life, nature, and I know what's it called, infant mortality, but like I feel like yo, that didn't happen at like certain points when humans were on their like stuff, like when we knew like what was when we not even that, like we say like high vibration, but it's more like default vibration, and we're taking off of that,
yeah,
you
yeah, I
know.
agree. And I agree with like hospitals. I don't know, like but yeah, like it's always like a delicate situation whenever you talk about hospitals, because you have like
Yeah, man.
some people that are like, okay, Western medicine has done so much and this and that, but like I agree, like just my intuitive feeling of like I avoid hospitals like the plague. Like that feels like that's where like death is there, illness is there. Like I don't want to be
Yeah,
there. You
yeah,
know,
it's
like,
all contagious too. All of that stuff is contagious too.
totally.
right.
Like, it just
Like that's just a vibration.
yeah.
Yeah, the thoughts that you have even going into the facility, like, just
Mm.
the smell is so clinical. It's unnatural. It's chemical.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
so
Right in the air. Yeah.
Yeah, hospitals have that smell, yo. I've been to a hospital like once in my life. It was because like I fucking like stabbed right here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to health, um like it really is, and this is another like thing that I think is so like telling about our society, both in like the microcosm of the individual and also the macrocosm, is like everything we think of when it comes to health is about addressing symptoms. It's like a symptom arrives and then we're like, oh, we need to address that symptom, we need to like fix that symptom. But like that symptom is like your body communicating
Yeah,
to you the imbalance that you have within yourself. And so like
yeah,
that's why the pharmaceutical industry is so messed up. It's because their whole business model
yeah.
is on not fixing you, so that you constantly
It's
have
like
things that you like can fix without
yeah, it's
actually
like
going in and like changing your diet, exercising, like things, like taking on a spiritual practice. Things are gonna rebalance your mind, body, spirit to be in a more healthy state where you're less likely to be ill.
yeah, like about 2018, I enrolled in like a herbalism program to learn how to be a herbalist, and uh like it's like you do it on your own time, so like I don't always like, just because of money and like also like inner work, don't always like have the time to do it, but like yeah, like one of like the principles of healing is like yo, when say somebody has like a chronic disease and like you treat that, like it comes to the surface, like everything you heal, it has to come to the surface. So it's kind of like they they treat the symptom which is on the surface, and it's just pushing it deeper in. Like
Yeah.
like say somebody has a skin condition, you fucking put like whatever on it, and it goes away, but like it just goes deeper into your body, and that like now like that shit's in your fucking brain or your heart,
Right.
like
That's real.
your body's trying to push things out, and which like which is why you cough, and all the things they call sickness, like a cough, you know, all that's the symptoms, you know.
Or a fever, like
Yeah,
you get a
it's
fever,
your body trying to.
it's like you
Purify
have
itself.
some bacteria, some virus, something that your body is trying to fight, and so it's creating a more hostile environment in your body to get rid of that. Like it's hotter, like it's burning away the illness basically. And then we see the fever and we're like, oh, this fever is uncomfortable. Let me get rid of the fever. Let me get rid of that symptom, but we're not addressing like the root cause. And that's just like the individual, right? Like that's how we treat the individual. And then because like as above, like everything is like scalar, how I see it. So that applies just as much to society as a whole. Like we have all these problems that come up in society. Like we'll have riots, violence, broken households, whatever, you know, like, and then the government like creates programs to solve this and fix this, but like none of it addresses the root cause, you know, which I feel like one of the main root causes, and this is kind of a different tangent of like the problems in society, is like what I call artificial scarcity. You know, like in order to control people, like you need to like create a scarcity so that you can get people to compete and play the like monopoly money games and do all this. Whereas if there was true abundance, like in food, and everyone had water, and everyone had like the freedom to kind of pursue what they're naturally drawn towards, then like these systems would collapse. So
and they're built off of keeping you in scarcity, because if we knew abundance, we wouldn't fucking play to their shit, you know. We wouldn't play their games, you know. And like you said, like it's artificial. Like see, yo, one of the hardest things is like, yo, especially if you grew up with like parents that like you grew up in poverty, or like your parents like are in like, yo, my parents grew up working like 2-3 jobs, you know. So and then you grow up and you find out, hey, we don't have to do this, and then it's kind of like yo, people be like, yo, you're disrespecting your parents by saying like you don't have to do that, you know. People say like you're disrespecting where like you ate from, but like you show them like, yo, we don't have to do that. We don't have to work fucking 16 hours a day, you know, to get money, to just eat. You feel me?
That shit is slavery, man. Like,
yeah,
honest employment is slavery. Like when you start looking into like how the system is structured, with the whole monetary system and the whole creation of it, especially in regards to the U.S. with the Federal Reserve and all that, like, you know good and goddamn well that, you know, employment is slavery. Because they built this system based off of like Braden said, is artificial scarcity. Because only within a matrix or artificial matrix can there be artificial scarcity. Because the earth itself is abundant, the universe itself is abundant. So you have to force guys to fall asleep and forget who they are, so they could just be stuck in this dependency upon some fictional entities that claim to be authorities when in reality they're just sheets of paper. But yeah, you know, definitely. Stop more on that.
Plus, even like the water we drink, it's just fucking like, it's just toilet water filtered like 100,000 times and adds some chemicals to it. And like, yo, back in the like yo, people used to be self-sustaining, like whether you hunted your food or whatever, whether you farmed, yo, like people didn't go through like a middleman to like, hey, I'm gonna go work here at this fucking fast food place, and then they're gonna pay me $16 and I'm gonna go have what I need to eat, you know. Where and also like yo, the people, it is slavery. Like you're dead to the people who, like, yo, my mom works at a fast food place making sandwiches, you know, and I'm obviously trying to free my people out of like that bullshit, you know. But like, yo, to the Wendy's person, like the person at the top, yo, you're dead to them. You're nothing. You're just a fucking robot, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's like one of the other things that is like like causing almost like spiritual illness inside of people is like one of the things we long for, like one of the things that makes us human is like community,
Freedom.
you know, and
Right.
freedom and like what, like, because people aren't happy when they're not working. Like my idea of paradise is not like I never contribute in any way. I don't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just like
Yeah.
lethargic and
That's
laying
me
around.
nowadays.
Like we're happy when we like contribute our skills to
Creativity.
yeah, when we contribute like our skills, our abilities to a collective community, you know, and like that recognizes the value of what we're doing. And with that comes dignity, like with whatever you're doing, whether you're farming, whether you're hunting, whether you're a craftsman, you know, whatever you're doing, when you're contributing that to a collective of people, like that acknowledge it, respect it, and value it, then like you like get that sense of value and belonging. And I just feel like in the corporate world, we have stripped people of that. Like they don't.
Yeah.
They don't
The big corporations prevent that. Like it's like the big corporations that run everything. Like they're like you're providing more for them than you're providing for your family. You know, if you're working for
Real
like
shit. Yo, that's real shit. I want to chime in right here. Now we're talking about corporations, right? The root word of corporations, corpse. Now the world is corporations, which are nothing but, you know, fictitious entities. They're not real. They're artificial persons, literally by definition of law. So when you have all these governments around the world, they're all artificial entities or corpses, corporations, because they're dead. They're living, they're quote unquote living dead. So they trick us human beings into being corporations as well, which are these all capital names, such as the straw man, the ens legis, all caps. You know, in common English, like you're not supposed to use all capital letters to, you know, for proper nouns. You know what I'm saying? So why would they do this in their mailing system and the bank accounts? Like every time you look, your name is in all capital letters, because they created a fictitious version of you, which is straw man.
phantom.
Exactly. And they're treating your living vessel with your soul as the fuel and source to fuel this fictitious.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same. Yeah. That's
exactly. Like that. That's the demon. That's like a demon, yo. It's
right.
It's a demon version. It's like a shadow of you, you know. Like for example, like okay, we like my name, your name, like Braden, you know, like to the government, you're Braden Lockwood, you know, and it's like the real that's like a egregore that follows you, you know.
Yeah.
And do you think that like social media ties into this egregore? Like do you think
for sure
are like data from social media and stuff like...
I always think about that, man. I always think about that. I always think about like how like by posting these things on social media, like yo, they have like they just have like your fingerprint, you know, like your spiritual fingerprint.
Right. They definitely do.
And I always think about that. Like I always think about like, yo, what if I never ever made social media?
That's a profound thought right there, my brother. Real, because it's like they would never have your energetic or spiritual signature, like you said. And that I feel like that's part of them building this artificial intelligence so they can, you know, then make this whole world into this transhumanist demiurge ruled Kapoth tree of death. like that's the whole purpose of this. They know they can't control the natural universe. They can't control the most. They can't control.
It's funny as fuck too, yo. It's like it's so ironic and shit.
Exactly.
Like
they want to control. So they have to create fake artificial things to control within their, you know, ambit of delegated authority, which is something that they all created within their own, you know, imaginations, and trick others as humans into believing that, oh no, we need this because of this. When we don't, we could just literally, all of us can literally walk away from all this shit like, fucking, we're not paying no more bills. We ain't paying no fucking taxes. We fucking going building our own country somewhere, and you can't stop us. And there's enough people
Because like, no, this always trips me out, boys. Because like power, like they don't have any power. Like power is like it is not something you manipulate people into. Like it's something that you hold. And like I feel like the way they move just shows how weak they are, because everything they do it all relies on like these fear manipulation tactics to control people. So I'm always thinking like literally this whole system is like a freaking, it's a glass house. It's fake. Like the White House, like Joe Biden, are you serious? Like how am I supposed to like believe that this is like the president and that, like this is like like all elected leaders leading the free world? Like no, like I call bullshit on all that. Like me and the homies could run this better.
Exactly.
Like that dude is retarded, bro. That dude is like a crackhead from fucking like the plaza, yo.
He be forgetting that.
Legit, like fucking crackhead.
You know, he like literally one half in the grave and one half out the grave. What the fuck he is?
Like you guys both seen the shit where like yo he's shaking like the air in his hand, like he's just trying to shake somebody's hand but there's nobody there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I didn't see that shit. That's funny. Yo, I gotta see. That's funny. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's literally
right after Donald Trump too.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're literally taunting us. It's like we're gonna get even more ridiculous each term. Even more ridiculous. Fucking fake event, fake pandemic, fake war,
and
fake whatever.
Before that Obama, and before that George Bush, yo. Like these are all like fucking like clowns, like cartoon characters, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just irony, bro. It's like I feel like the pain of like living in this like fucking Babylon, but like it's also so ironic and funny and shit.
You gotta look for the humor in it, or like you'll drive yourself crazy.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I wanted to touch on too, is like, yeah, we're like our physical vessels are living here in Babylon, but our souls, like the three of us, for instance, and anybody that's tuning into this broadcast, like our souls, like our energetic signatures are much more powerful than this matrix, which is why we're even quote unquote awake anyway. Because in reality, their plan was to have everyone lulled to sleep. We're not even supposed to be aware of any of this shit we're talking about. We're supposed to just be talking in the word, just paying taxes forever and listening to fucking radio and just not thinking for ourselves and just being sheep. But the fact that we here and have this level of awareness and consciousness, you know, it just proves the power of our own soul.
Yeah, and like when you meditate or like whatever, meditate basically, however you meditate, like your body tunes into what your soul is on. So you start breathing the air of the real air, you know, not this fucking polluted shit, fucking foggy ass air, you know.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing like I want to kind of loop back to is when you said like corporations, like root word is corpse, like it's dead. It's like a dead entity that like lives to try to preserve itself, you know? And it like, in order for it to operate, it needs us to also be corpses, you know? Only corpses can operate a corporation.
Exactly. Those are the transmitting utilities. That's literally what it's called. Like your ends legis, all caps, straw man is a transmitting utility in commerce. So that's how these corporations can interface with it. So like, for instance, if you're a US citizen living in a United States corporation, they can contract with you. And by contracting with you, that is how you're bound to them in their jurisdiction. And I mean, it's remedies to, of course, like, you know, maneuvering around and within that bullshit. But, you know, for the most part, this is the trick that they, you know, pretty much casted upon all of us that live here and other governments around the world as well. They follow the same structure.
All right, and I have another question.
And I have something to say about that. Like, you can't do this now, but I think 2-3 years ago, I don't know, I don't remember if it was your SIN number or what, but like something, I think your birth certificate or something, it was a stock. It still is a stock, but like
Yeah, yeah.
back then you could go to the stock market online and you could search up your SIN number and they will tell you how much you're worth in the stock market.
Oh yeah, you could do that from a security broker. All you gotta do
Yeah,
is pay up whatever fee they, you know what I'm saying, they'll look up your security bonds that's
yeah,
attached to you. Because if
yeah.
you get
And
a
like
mhm.
Braden was saying how like yo, you have to be a corpse, and like the more like you fucking get into like the spiritual stuff, yo, I can't work, yo, fuck that shit. I can't work.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I cannot do that shit. Like it's like spiritual death, yo. Like I feel sick going home after, yo. I don't like
Yeah.
that shit. But
Yeah, and
like for a
Manraj,
mad long time, like I always had money coming to me in funny ways, you know, like little like weird ways that sustain me for a minute. And then yo, just yeah, like you guys are talking about NFTs and stuff. Like I found some like cool entrepreneurial
Mhm.
opportunities, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we definitely gonna explore into
Still
that,
in the
man.
matrix, but like
Right,
you don't have to work as much, you know.
exactly. You're more so having more leverage in the matrix. I
Yeah,
look at it as a form of colonizing their matrix for real. That's how
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
metaverse.
I
Like, yeah,
like
you can
exactly,
make the metaverse.
exactly.
Come right in there, take all your
Fact,
shit.
fact.
we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back at it, and we're about to jump into NFTs, crypto, blockchain. And rhaqim, why don't you just start us off by telling us a little bit about what you've been up to, what you create, and how art has kind of become a part of your spiritual practice.
Oh man, love that. Okay, well, starters, but this NFT and crypto journey, I've partnered with my good brother Rael, who's also on Twitter. Um, he has a company called Inventive Studios that is pretty much based in technology research and development, and he develops virtual reality software and other tech. You know what I'm saying? And then my company, Nero Soul TV, I've created a subsidiary of that company, which is Nero Soul NFT, which is the division of the company that will be handling all the NFT launches, official releases, and it's basically the collections of like all of my beats and artwork, comic series, and everything like that. And our first collection is in collaboration with Wu-Tang Clan legend Killer Priest, and he premiered the video for the introduction video to the NFT collection last night on his podcast, which airs every Monday and Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. So yes, that's the first NFT launch that we're doing this year, like on a grander scale. Gonna have all that linked into the blockchain, minted to the blockchain, and it's going to be 1,000 different mics. Like each microphone is like a corresponding chakra color, and it has different traits or whatever that goes in conjunction with each chakra characteristics. So the designs of each microphone are specifically and uniquely tailored to the varying chakras on the chakra system. And there's going to be a lot more other collectible NFT items within the collection as well. Right now, we're still developing a lot of that, but pretty much the bulk of it is complete. And a second line of an NFT collection is with one of my homegirls that's a pianist. We have a single out now called Solar Controller, which is basically instrumental music, but it's electronic, experimental, more so meditational, for like primarily headphone use, just like with binaural beats. But it's to create a whole experience within the individual. So we're launching the NFT based on that. I also created the animation and the artwork and everything. Well, my boy Daryl Rael, he created the artwork, but I created animation around his artwork. And we, collaborated and made that into a virtual reality space as well. So the listeners can listen to this music within VR with the headset as well as the headphones and just be immersed in the experience.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I love art. Like part of my business also I sell like physical canvases and stuff. And I've been getting into like crypto and blockchain and NFTs, and really like going back to like some of the things that I think are wrong with like how our current system is. Like I see a lot of potential for the way that crypto and blockchain can empower the creators themselves, you know. So I think it's awesome. Like if you can like, I've seen your work before and it's got a very like unique, cool style to it. Like I think it is really beneficial to society for us to allow like creators to build on the blockchain and then like support themselves in the real world out here based on their artwork or music or whatever they're doing, whatever they're building onto the blockchain. I think that's really cool. And yeah, I've got some stuff I want to talk to you guys about, a project that I'm working on in crypto right now, which is called Idea Market. And we're launching in like 2 weeks, like this new iteration of it. And basically, like as a content creator, you will like create a post, kind of like Twitter, like just like your ideas. And then when you post it, it'll then turn that idea into an NFT. And like basically we're trying to make just a free speech platform that is like completely censorship resistant, because it's like a protocol on the blockchain. Like you can post whatever you want, like your ideas, your research, your like innovations, your ideas for the future, like anything about how society could improve itself, heal itself. All that information is so valuable. And we're trying to kind of like capture that from a NFT and a market standpoint.
Nice.
And yeah, I could go off on it in length, but I mostly just want to talk about like blockchain itself, and see if you guys have any more insight, and also just art. Like I know for me, like I don't sell any of my own personal art or photography, but I just feel like there's something so healing about like expressing yourself creatively. You know, like I feel like sometimes that's like really all I need. Like when I'm in a funk or I'm like going through something, like my therapy, my like healing process is to like transmute whatever that is into artistic expression.
Yeah, hey man, I feel you 1000%, bro. That's how I am. Like when I'm creating something that's really truly coming from the heart, like I literally feel it like in the chest area, like just emanating and vibrating there. Like, you know, it's just really from the heart. So I agree, man. Like I feel like where we are now in human society with this Piscean age coming to an end. Now we're ushering into this Aquarian age. You know, we're the individuals that's going to help, you know, assist in the crumbling of Babylon and essentially building up the Satya Yuga, or the golden age of this humanity, in which where there's basically a new renaissance where, you know, the whole world is more creative, everyone is more expressive in soul and spirit, and balance vibrationally is being brought back to earth, because, you know, we're able to live off our creations in a harmonious way, and not so much being used as artists, like say with record labels, you know, pretty much getting artists to sign 360 deals and having them literally essentially sell their souls in a way to these corporations. So yeah, we're you know, we're at a point now where it's, you know, very exciting, you know, where we at as humans in our current society. So I feel like we're definitely gonna really be seeing some great things in these coming years.
Yeah. Yes. So like um like I remember when I was saying like the video that like I seen a video and they got taken down. Like this one dude named Saura Kevin. Like yo, people like yo, a lot of people look at this stuff and be like, yo, this is too new agey for me. Like that's kind of me. But like once you really look at like yo, what this dude is saying, like, hey man, he's saying the same stuff as I'm on, you know. he has real like knowledge, you know. And this dude back in 2010 wrote a book, and also have a video. I downloaded the video. It got taken off of YouTube. It got taken off of Vimeo literally a day after I seen it. And literally the guy is saying like, so in 2012, and also like, yo, Braden, I know you fuck with the Love One, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that book is deep too.
I just started rereading it like a day ago, actually.
Yeah, like there's some things in there like I just know like, okay, this is legit, because yo, you could only know this through experience, you know. And I watched videos on like the girl who channeled it, you know. I was gonna say wrote it, but like channeled it.
Right.
Yo, she wasn't really on like knowledge like that, you know. So like and the book is deep, you know. And so in that book too, it says about 2011, the harvest, or like, you know, what, like they took that word from the Bible, but like,
yeah,
like the earth shifting, like Babylon crumbling, you know. And so this dude Saul Kelly, like what he said was, in 2012, he wrote this book in 2010, and he said in 2012, December, what was it, 21, December 21, 2012, the earth is, the solar system is going to go through like a portal, you know.
Mhm.
And it is going through a portal, and nothing will happen. But yo, by 2017, he said all these things will happen, but like the dates might be different, you know. The timing might be different, but like the events are like written, you know.
Mhm.
He's a and yo, he said exotic viruses, immune failure and shit will start happening to people.
Yeah.
And then yo, by 2030, like the system that we live in, like it's going to be like, for example, like if you take Toronto, like to illustrate like, yo, what he kind of, the picture that he was painting, 2030 Toronto will look like a wasteland, you know, like where people who are still attached to the system will be living, but like people like us will probably be outside of the system, like, and there'll be communities. And then like you said, the Aquarian age, you know, I believe the Aquarian age started around 1880, and that's when like all this technology and like this modern stuff, but like it's still like transitioning, you know.
Right.
And like, yo, I think we'll have like some real, like, yo, I have some cool technology that's not big, but like, yo, it does something. It's like what Tesla was on, like Mobius coils, scalar waves, and everything. Like, yo, we never ever needed to be living off of this scarce energy, like fossil fuels and all this stuff. We never needed that, you know. Like we've been had free energy. Like Tesla, they have patents for it, all this stuff, and like, yo, that would literally free the world. But like, yo,
it's part of like, it's part of what we're talking about with like artificial scarcity, you know, like if you, and this is literally like the story of what happened with Tesla is when he like developed that energy, developed like he was using like the gravitational field of the earth mixed with like magnetism and rotation to generate energy. And like he basically like figured that out and was able to produce energy with basically like just like no input, like just endless energy from this device. And like the electric companies and like all the industries that are like built around electricity, oil, like fossil fuels, like everything that is threatened by the new paradigm will then fight to suppress new technologies, you know. Like if you like, and this is where I see where we're at in society is like there's giant industries that control the world, you know, in a sense. Like there's the giant oil oligarchs and all these different industries, the media and everything is kind of
all have patents on this free energy stuff too, the army and the government and all of that.
And there's a new paradigm coming in, and everything that represents that new paradigm, like the people that are currently in power recognize that like this this signals the end of their reign, you know, the end of their power, their end of their control. And what we're witnessing is kind of like their desperate last attempts to like hold on to some control, you know, hold on to like their power, and their power, like it is dependent on fear and keeping people in the vibration of fear. You know? So I also agree with you when you say like that certain things are going to be wastelands. But what I see happening is like, because natural law has everything to do with like consent, right? Like we are like, we're so powerful, like they can only do what we consent to having being done to us, you know? So I see like these wastelands, like they're gonna be the places that like continue consenting endlessly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like continued fear will then result in wasteland. And so like even with COVID and stuff, like you kind of got the initial energetic understanding of it, because you'll see like, okay, the people that are like listening the most to the authorities, right? Like like you're wearing like, your mask everywhere.
I'm pretty sure none of us have the vaccine.
No, I don't. I
don't.
But like if you like completely comply with the system, then you wear a mask all like 12 hours a day. You take 2 like injections a year. You don't leave your house. You don't go in the sun. Like you literally are living a dystopian existence. Like and like you wonder where that's heading. Like that's heading to dystopia. You keep following that energy and keep consenting to that energy, they're gonna pull you all the way into dystopia.
And what that dude says is like it's like 3 parallel Earths, you know. Like I don't like to like go fucking like just reference other people's stuff, but like what he's saying is just facts, you know. And he wrote this back in 2010, and so he's saying like 3 parallel Earths. One is like what you were just saying, and then it's like what we're on, you know, like we're going to like dystopia and then utopia, you know. Like the like wastelands and then like proper stuff like Eden, you know, like
and
all the real stuff. And then like and people that are in the middle, they haven't quite grasped all of that, but like they're starting to transform themselves, you know. Which is like the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. And also not just technology, but like I feel like people's bodies will change, you know.
I do too. And one more thing I want to add to like how I see like the utopian paradigm is like I believe that we have like innate abilities, you know, like unique individual skills, you know, that we had from past incarnations, like from just our soul's experience. Like we hold that experience within us. And like in like a society that isn't run on fear, is run by like the calling of spirit and love and like guidance from the Most High, like everyone is just following their purpose. And because everyone is like surrendered to their purpose, like everything works in divine like
synchronicity.
It works in synchronicity. It doesn't require
harmony.
It doesn't require all the money. It doesn't require even like this over dependence on time constructs that we see in the corporate world, where everything is like 9 to 5, meeting at 10. Like everything is so like time focused because they need time to be on the same page, to be like linked up. But when you're like everyone is just working like in harmony with their purpose, like then everything it like comes to existence naturally how it's meant to.
That's on point.
And also like you can say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say time is the noose around, you know, the necks of those in the matrix, man.
Money. Money is just like the shadow of time.
Exactly.
And like all these experiences you have, like you're saying like all these experiences we've had, like one thing, like I was just thinking about this like right before. I was just like not realizing I already knew, but like this, like yo, people are stuck in linear time where like, oh, I had these experiences and they made me, you know. But like when you start looking at it beyond linear time, it's like your timeline, your timeline, the things that occur on it, they occur because they're already in your soul beyond time and space, you know. So it's like it's just a manifestation of that, and then it's like, yo, when you're not connected to that, they could put you on whatever timeline they want, you know.
Facts. Facts. That's facts.
And going back to like being connected to that like to your soul, you know, having like strengthening the connection to your own soul and bringing it into like your presence here. Like when I'm reading something like the law of one, you know, like I'm the same way with you, where like I don't trust anything outside of me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like, I read things
Let's
for
verify
inspiration,
it.
you know.
We're scientists, man.
Yeah. And when I see truth, I recognize truth in me.
Yeah.
You know, like
because we're real scientists, yo. They're not fucking scientists. We're scientists. Because yo, we actually take it and we see if this shit is real, you know.
Yeah. And dude, like living like that is such, it's like you're way more alive. Like you're experimenting with reality itself. Like I think Tesla had a quote once that said like, today's scientists have replaced like experiments with equations, and they wander aimlessly through like equations and eventually end up somewhere that has no like
structure relating to
reality. Application related to reality. Exactly. And like that's exactly how I think of in terms of scientists, is like take a concept and like apply it to your life. You want to add a new even like add a new mantra to your routine, add a new perspective, like try on a new belief. You can, we're fluid in that way where we can like experiment with our own imagination, and then the feedback loop is reality itself. Like our experiences are then teaching us based off of the beliefs that we're choosing to place our power in.
Facts.
100%.
By the way, my point with that, that's exactly what it is. Consciousness is a reflective modality. So that's how this whole thing just operates. Like whatever you feed your mind, that way of belief, thought, repetitious thought and feeling, you know, it's just gonna reflect that content in your waking experience.
Yeah. And like you feel more alive because yo, like you're saying, gravitate, like all these energies, magnetic waves, gravitational waves, and all of that, like they all have dimensions that yo you can't detect with instruments, but you can detect with your body, you know.
Yeah.
And we start to cultivate that. Like meditation is literally like, if you meditate properly, not just like sitting there like trying to do whatever with your mind, you know, like if you really still your mind, yo, you start, that energy starts like literally like coming into all of your cells, you know. And that's what I was saying, like yo, our bodies will transform because right now we're made out of carbon, you know, and the evolved form of carbon is silicon, which is quartz, like the crystal, you know, and it's still carbon, but it's like an evolution of carbon, and that's the next stage of life, you know.
Is we become crystalline beings.
Exactly. Yeah. Carbon is like the unrefined version. Silicon is the refined version.
Do you think, because another thing you mentioned earlier that I also agree with is that we used to have much longer lifespans, you know, like in different points in Earth. Like, do you think in this lifetime, like we'll have the opportunity to expand our own current incarnation?
Yeah, always. Yo, man, I always have faith in the highest possibility, you know.
Yeah, I like that. I've never never take faith away from the highest possibility, you know, like
Yeah.
that. I agree. Again.
And then have the action and the competence to make it happen, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Dude, good talk, boys. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. And we're coming up on an hour, but is there anything else that you guys want to jump into? Anything else that you want to kind of shine a light on or jump into real quick before we close today's podcast?
Well, as for me, my website, schoolofinsight.com. Currently, I'm working on this extensive library of practical knowledge and information that, you know what I'm saying, is in the form of remedies in regards to law, excuse me, in regards to law, commerce, health, business, creative arts, just the whole nine, like everything like you could possibly think of. Like I'm just compiling all this information that I've learned myself, and I'm just putting it in a presentable fashion where it can be easily digested and comprehended by any layman, you know. So I'll be announcing when that is complete on my social media, the Urban Mystic on Twitter, and Insight in You is on Twitter. As far as the NFTs and the cryptocurrency discussions, for updates on that, be sure to tap into my other page, Nero Soul NFT. That's where I'll be sharing a lot of my creations and VR experiences on that page, as well as, you know, give everyone that's listening the opportunity to purchase in early with and I'm gonna say purchase, but invest in early with these creations because they will rise in value as time progresses, and as well as, you know, we'll be sharing information on how to start up your own collections as well as services to help you create your own NFTs, whatever content you want to be created. We can get that in the metaverse as well. So, you know, anybody that wants to, you know, build on that, just definitely feel free to DM me on my main page, the Urban Mystic, or so NFT.
Yeah, I'll make sure to drop a link to your projects and tag you both so everyone can find you when I post the podcast. I'll put it up on Twitter.
Word.
I just like, so what I've been doing is, so I came upon like something called scalar wave energy, which is what Tesla was working with too. And there's something called a Mobius coil, and a lot of people use this and like, yo, they do get real results. Like I follow this dude named Brother Gaia on Instagram, and yo, he's always showing people like they'll bust up like the chemtrails like we were talking about before this even started, you know, like where like visibly they'll go away. And I didn't cop like what he had. I found something where like, so basically you get it's, I can't explain it like how you would make it everything because I didn't make that about it. And it's something called the Mobius coil, and it's powered by electricity. And like what it'll do is it'll create a really high frequency and a really low frequency. And then they become scalar energy, which is what Tesla was on, which is an energy that's not detectable through instruments, but like, yo, if you put it near a plant, the plant will grow much, much bigger, which is also what the pyramids were about.
Yeah.
Which is what like all these ancient temples were for. And they did have some electric component to them. You could tell by all the metals they used. And basically, yo, the first day I did this, like I remember I felt so nauseous, and I don't ever feel nauseous, you know? And like you could feel like the tangible effects in your body, and it's kind of like, and you feel nauseous because like, yo, it's your body detoxing certain emotions and energies out of your body, out of your field. And so what I've done like a long time before this, like this is made out of copper, you know, everybody like, yo, all of our water pipes in our houses are probably made out of copper, you know, for the most part. Some are plastic, but like mostly copper. And electricity, like, yo, copper, all of our electronics probably have copper too, and crystals and stuff. So like, yo, I just started experimenting with this stuff, and one of the things, like, yo, the ancients did, like, yo, in the Mayan pyramids, like, they found huge quantities of mercury underneath, you know, like
Yeah.
huge quantities.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so I've been knowing some people in India that could create solid mercury, and they do it with 108 herbs, and they don't use any other metal, they don't use sulfur, they don't use nothing. They take liquid mercury, and they'll do the ritual and stuff, and they use 108 herbs, and yo, it turns solid, you know, and they make pyramids out of it, make like certain shapes that have to do with Shiva and Shakti. And yo, I just been like experimenting with that stuff, you know, and like I can't say like for sure if I'll like offer that to people. I don't want to say sell, you know, like this.
Yeah.
But like obviously it costs money, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yo, they actually do something there.
No,
Really good.
I've been
When
experimenting.
you charge the like the mercury with this, it's already charged by like the spiritual process rituals and stuff they do. But when you charge it with the technology, like it really does something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been like I have like a bunch of pyramids just all over my house, like organites with different metals and stones in them. And I'll do like experiments where I'll like plant a bunch of seeds, and then I'll surround one of the seeds, like one of the pots, with like pyramids, and like I'll have like a copper piped pyramid with little pyramid, and I'll put like crystals over it, and I'll filter the water through the crystals. And I was just like messing around to see like if it would affect the sprout time of the different like plants I was growing. And I did it first with like spinach, and like the spinach that was inside the pyramid shape with the pyramids and the crystals around it like grew to like 2 inches before the other one even sprouted. And then I ran into some like experimental design problems where they needed to go out and get sun. So like I couldn't keep the experiment going and really test it out all the way through. But I'm also like always doing stuff like that, just like trying to experiment around and see ways that we can like use the natural world to like be scientists, like experiment with reality, like try out different things, try out like using like if we can get like solid mercury and stuff. Like I know that the ancients were using those in their temple.
Yeah, I have some right there.
That's
dope.
You go get it, but like
all right. Well, boys, I think I'm gonna call it here, but thank you guys so much for coming on. I had a great time. I always love connecting with new people, and I love your guys' perspectives.
Appreciate you for having us, man.
you-